All right, let's dive in. Ready for a deep dive into the world of Banksy? We're talking the art, the mystery, the impact.
Yeah, all based on this stack of articles and analyses you've sent our way.
And we're going to break it all down.
Find the most fascinating stuff for you guys.
So who is Banksy? That's the question, right? Like, the mystery.
Right, and so many signs point to Robin Gunningham.
Like what?
Well, back in 2008, the Mail on Sunday did this big investigation, and then later on, there was a 2016 study used geographic profiling.
So they looked at, like, locations.
Yeah, patterns in where Banksy's work pops up. It seemed to support the Gunningham theory.
But there's been no confirmation, right? It's like, we have this puzzle, but half the pieces are missing.
Exactly.
So it's even more intriguing.
And there's this little clue.
Oh.
In a 2003 BBC interview, Banksy said their first name is Robbie.
Robbie Banksy.
That's all we know for sure.
Like a tiny little taste of the truth to keep us hooked. It makes you wonder why all the secrecy...
Well, I think it's probably a couple things. Protecting their identity, right?
Yes.
But also building up that Banksy brand, the mystery.
It's like, focus on what I'm saying, not on who I am.
Right, like look at the art, not the artist.
And what a message, too. Because Banksy's art, it's way beyond just like regular graffiti.
Totally.
It's this blend of style and substance that really grabs you.
You can see influences from other artists.
Oh, yeah. Like who?
Well, there's Blake Lerat, known for like stenciling rats on walls in Paris. Even 3D from the band Massive Attack. He's actually friends with Banksy.
Wow, really?
Yeah, and he might have been the one who inspired Banksy to use stencils.
See, because when I think stencils, I think like spray paint, cardboard cutout.
But it's so much more than that.
There's skill, you're saying.
Real skill involved.
Well.
Planning, precision, to make those designs.
Especially the big ones.
Right. And you got to be fast, too.
Yeah.
Because a lot of Banksy's work is in public.
Not exactly.
Legal places, often. So speed and efficiency are key.
It's like a performance in itself.
Yeah, it is.
Creating this art in the dark, and then, boom, it appears.
Like magic.
And the themes, too. Anti-war, anti-establishment, all that.
Social commentary?
Yeah. Delivered with this dark humor. It's like a punchline that makes you think, wait, they've got a point.
A visual punchline.
Yeah. Like
It's
Banksy
great.
holds up this mirror to society.
I like that.
But it's like a distorted mirror cracked in a few places.
Reflecting back, kind of a twisted version?
Yeah, so you chuckle, but then you're like,
You're forced to question things.
Exactly. And that's what makes Banksy's art so thought-provoking.
Not just looking at it, but thinking about it.
Okay, we have to talk about some of those iconic Banksy pieces.
Absolutely.
Everyone knows.
Like Girl with Balloon.
Or Love is in the Bin.
Right. After that self-shredding stunt.
At the auction, I know. It's crazy.
It sold for like over £1 million and then poof, shredded.
Imagine being there.
Can you imagine?
But you know what I think is fascinating?
What?
It's like Banksy predicted this art world obsession.
With shock value.
Yeah, spectacle, all that. And then just, bam, outsmarted the whole system.
It was a brilliant critique of the art market, for sure.
Because, in a way, by destroying it, they increase its value even more.
Totally flipped the script.
And it tells us about Banksy's personality, mischievous, always steps ahead.
A game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then devolved parliament.
Ha!
Chimps running the House of Commons.
Powerful imagery.
Oh, yeah.
It's Banksy taking on politics.
It's like, are we really that much better at running things than a bunch of chimps?
Throwing bananas around.
I would love to see Banksy and, I don't know, Winston Churchill just chatting over a pint.
Now that would be a conversation.
About the state of the world.
It really shows you how art can make these big comments on politics, social issues, and do it in a way that's funny and makes you think.
And then there's Exit Through the Gift Shop.
The documentary.
Yeah, the one that got nominated for an Oscar, even. Everyone's like, is this real or is this a Banksy prank?
Right.
This guy, Thierry Guetta.
Tries to make a film about Banksy.
And ends up becoming a street artist himself.
Blurring those lines between art and reality.
And some people think Banksy was behind it all, though.
Orchestrating the whole thing.
Like turning this guy into an art experiment.
Yeah. What is authentic in the art world?
Banksy always keeps us guessing. They remind me of, like, the Joker from Batman.
Oh, interesting.
They both work outside the system.
Yeah, challenging how we see things.
Order. Chaos.
They use chaos to make a point, like Banksy with their art.
To challenge all those norms,
And they both love to put on a show.
Like how Banksy stages their work.
in these unexpected spots, grabbing everyone's attention.
It's like they're saying, hey, world, look over here.
And we can't help but look.
But there's this whole other side to Banksy.
What's that?
These sources show their philanthropy.
Yeah, like the civilian drone strike.
They auctioned it off.
Raised money for anti-war groups.
And Mediterranean Sea View 2017.
For that hospital in Bethlehem.
Amazing. And they funded a rescue boat, the Louise Michel.
Helping refugees in the Mediterranean.
So it's not just about making a statement.
Right, they're actually taking action.
For causes they believe in.
It makes you think, like, is Banksy the Robin Hood of the art world?
Stealing from the rich, well, maybe challenging the system at least, and giving back to those in need.
There's definitely some of that going on.
But even their giving is wrapped in mystery.
No need for recognition, just doing what they believe is right.
Which brings us to their exhibitions. Those are crazy.
They're not just, art shows.
They're events.
Huge happenings, big crowds.
Like Banksy versus Bristol Museum.
Over 300,000 people.
Imagine those lines.
It was a cultural moment.
An anonymous street artist taking over a museum.
And then there was Dismaland.
The dystopian theme park.
A giant art installation making you question everything.
Critiquing consumerism, theme parks, everything.
Like stepping into a Banksy artwork.
I think these exhibitions are so successful because they give you a peek into Banksy's mind.
Beyond just looking at art.
Experiencing it.
Like immersive theater with social commentary.
So far, we've seen Banksy as this mysterious figure, satirical, championing causes, creating experiences.
There's a complex picture.
But after all that, we still don't know for sure WHO they are.
The million-dollar question.
But maybe that's the wrong question.
Maybe.
Instead of unmasking them, maybe we should focus on understanding the message behind the mask.
I like that.
Because the real power of Banksy's art is how it makes us think.
Critically about the world around us.
Challenging authority, seeing the injustices, imagining a better future.
And that's a message worth paying attention to, no matter WHO is delivering it.
Exactly. It's like in V for Vendetta, that character V, masked, fighting for justice.
Yeah.
His identity isn't as important as the ideas.
Great analogy.
So will we ever know for sure? And does it even matter?
The mystery is part of the allure, but I have this feeling...
Uh-oh, you do?
Banksy's identity will come out eventually.
Really? You think so?
Maybe not by choice, but maybe. Like a court case, something unexpected.
A slip-up.
Right, secrets come out.
And when it does, it's going to be huge.
Global news.
But then the real test will be, can Banksy's art stand on its own new?
Separate from the mystery.
Without that question mark hanging over it.
Big question.
We'll have to see. But for now, let's keep digging into some specific pieces.
Yeah.
Explore those messages.
Let's do it. Welcome back to our deep dive into Banksy.
We've talked about, like, the iconic works, the mystery, the whole thing.
Compared him to a comic book villain, even.
Yeah, but now I think it's time to zoom in.
On what makes their art so impactful.
Why it resonates with so many people.
Exactly, because it's not just about...
Pretty pictures.
Right, it's deeper than that.
There's a depth to it.
It makes you think about the world differently.
It's like, all right, so imagine a mirror reflecting society back on itself.
But it's not a smooth mirror.
It's kind of warped.
Abstract, maybe.
A little distorted.
A little bit.
And you see a reflection, but it's twisted.
You laugh, but it makes you think.
Like those funhouse mirrors at a carnival?
Yeah.
You're all stretched out, but then you're like, wait, that's me?
You recognize yourself.
Banksy does that with our systems. You know?
Social systems, political systems.
Yeah, but in a way that's thought-provoking and entertaining.
Not preachy.
Not at all.
It's clever, subversive.
Yeah.
A wink and a nod.
Like, hey, look what I see. What do you think?
An invitation.
To join the conversation.
Yeah.
Don't just accept things as they are.
Question the status quo.
And that's a crucial element.
Of Banksy's work.
It's all about encouraging critical thinking.
Engaging with the art.
Not just looking at it.
Right. Going beyond that.
So how do they do this? What are the techniques that Banksy uses to make us think, to challenge us?
Well, I think a big one is irony.
Okay.
And juxtaposition.
Like putting two things together that don't normally go together.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like what?
Well, think about Girl with Balloon.
That's a classic.
On the surface, it's innocent, right? A young girl, a balloon.
A heart-shaped balloon.
Almost whimsical.
Yeah.
But then the balloon is red.
Red. Yeah.
A color we associate with, love, hope.
But also
danger.
Oh, she's losing her grip on the string?
It's slipping away.
Such a simple image.
But it's packed with meaning.
The fragility of happiness.
Trying to hold on to things that are slipping away.
It's like that saying, nothing lasts forever.
But Banksy shows us that visually.
It's beautiful, but also kind of sad, you know?
Melancholic.
Yeah. And we've all felt that, haven't we?
Absolutely. Everyone can relate to that.
And that's the power of it.
Taking everyday things.
Giving them new meaning.
Making us see them differently.
And another thing Banksy is a master of.
What's that?
Humor.
Oh, yeah.
Humor is such a powerful tool.
It really is.
It can disarm you, make you laugh, but also sneak in a message.
When you least expect it.
It's like, what's that saying? A spoonful of sugar.
Ah, yeah, Mary Poppins.
Yeah, the medicine goes down easier.
Enjoying the sweetness, but getting something good for you.
Even if it's a little bit tough.
Great analogy.
So Banksy does that with devolved parliament.
Oh, yeah, the chimps running the show.
Hilarious. But then you think, wait a minute.
Are we really that different from them?
In our political systems.
Throwing bananas at each other makes you question.
Banksy uses humor to expose the absurdity of power.
The hypocrisy.
Yeah, and they're not being mean about it.
Not at all.
They do it with a wink.
A smile.
You're laughing, but the message is still sinking in.
That's the mark of a skilled artist.
So we've talked about irony, juxtaposition, humor.
Yeah.
What else? What other tools does Banksy use?
Well, people often overlook their technical skill.
Stenciling seems simple, but
it's not.
it takes planning, precision.
Especially on those big murals.
And a lot of it's done illegally, at night.
Adding an element of risk.
It's not just about the art.
It's about challenging the rules.
When you look at Banksy's stencils,
up close,
they're so intricate, detailed.
It's a visual language conveying a message.
And then there's the surprise factor.
Yeah.
Banksy's work just appeared.
No,
like a gift.
What a city.
A burst of creativity in an unexpected place.
Brightening up a dull landscape.
Like a game of hide and seek.
Banksy hiding, we're seeking.
Looking for those little gems of art.
The unexpected moment.
That catch you off guard.
And when you find one.
That's like a jolt.
A reminder that beauty exists.
In the most unexpected places.
Yeah.
Like in that movie, Amélie.
Oh, I love that movie.
She does little acts of kindness, secretly.
To brighten people's days.
Banksy's art has that same whimsy.
That unexpected quality.
It's about bringing magic to the ordinary.
Making people smile, making them think.
And even though Banksy critiques society, it's never cynical.
Never hopeless.
There's always a glimmer of hope.
A belief in the power of art.
To change things.
To make things better.
And that brings us to another key aspect.
What's that?
Accessibility.
Right.
Street art is for everyone.
You don't need a ticket.
Don't need to go to a fancy gallery.
It's right there, in public.
Free for all.
Banksy is democratizing art.
Saying art shouldn't be exclusive.
It's for everyone.
No matter who you are, what your background is.
And that's why they have such broad appeal.
They speak to everyone.
Transcending boundaries.
Okay, so we've got the irony, the humor, the skill, the surprise, the accessibility.
Yeah.
But how does all this actually lead to change in the real world?
That's the big question.
Yeah, because it's hard to measure the impact of art.
It is, but there's no doubt Banksy has sparked conversations.
Raised awareness.
Inspired action, even.
Like with their work on refugees.
Immigration. That Steve Jobs image.
Yeah, the son of a Syrian migrant.
Makes you think about the human stories.
Behind the headlines.
And the critiques of the art market. Consumerism.
Surveillance.
It resonates with people who feel disillusioned by the system.
It's like Banksy is giving a voice to those who don't have one.
Empowering people to question things, demand better.
And that's powerful.
When art sparks awareness,
outrage, hope,
it can create a ripple effect.
Leading to real change.
It might not be immediate,
yeah,
but art can be a catalyst.
Not a magic solution, but a starting point.
For conversations, movements, a shift in how we think.
It's like planting a seed.
You might not see the results right away.
But it can grow into something amazing.
That's the beauty of art.
It can transform us.
Challenge us.
Inspire us to make the world better.
I agree.
It makes me think of Dead Poets Society.
Oh, yeah.
Robin Williams, Carpe Diem, seize the day.
Make your lives extraordinary.
Banksy has that same message.
Question the world.
Make your mark.
Find your voice. Use it to make a difference.
Through art, activism, just living a life true to yourself.
And on that note,
I think it's time for the final part of our deep dive.
Let's do it.
So we're back, still deep in the world of Banksy.
We've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, from those famous works, the philanthropy, the impact.
On the art world, even society as a whole.
It's been quite a journey.
It has.
As we wrap up, I'm really curious. Banksy's legacy,
Yeah.
how will they be remembered? What kind of impact on future artists?
I think Banksy will be remembered as like one of the most influential artists.
With our time.
Yeah, not just for their art, but for how they changed the whole game.
Right. They took street art, which some people saw as vandalism,
And made it high art.
but it's still rebellious, still accessible.
Exactly. It's in museums, galleries, being auctioned off.
Like the maskers.
But it hasn't lost its bite, that edge.
It still makes you think.
Challenges you.
It's proof that art doesn't have to be stuck in those fancy spaces.
It can be anywhere, speak to anyone.
And have a real impact.
Absolutely.
And I think they've inspired so many other artists.
To use their creativity.
For social causes.
Political issues.
Yeah, you see it everywhere.
Street art is global now.
From Miami to Melbourne, it's exploding.
Banksy's spirit is alive.
That rebellion, the commentary, it's everywhere.
We've opened up this whole new way of making art.
Rooted in the streets, real life.
It's immediate, it's accessible, it's not afraid to speak truth.
And it never gets stale.
Right?
Just when you think you know Banksy's style.
They change it up.
Throw you a curveball, like that shredded painting.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of unexpected, what do you think the future holds for Banksy?
Good question. Will they keep making art? Will we ever know who they are?
The million-dollar questions, right? But if we've learned anything...
Banksy is unpredictable.
Like trying to predict what a chess grandmaster will do next.
Always a few steps ahead.
I have a feeling they'll keep pushing the boundaries of art, though.
Yeah.
Challenge us, surprise us, make us think.
Street art, exhibitions, films, who knows what's next.
But they'll find a way to keep their voice out there.
Make their message heard.
And maybe, just maybe, we'll find out who they are.
Maybe they'll reveal themselves.
A big announcement on their terms.
Or it could be an accident,
A slip-up, something that reveals the truth.
Either way, it'll be huge.
Global news.
But then the question is,
Will it change how we see their art?
will it take away some of the power?
It's hard to say. It makes me think of the Wizard of Oz.
How so?
The wizard, all-powerful, mysterious.
Yeah.
Then Dorothy sees him, and he's just a man behind a curtain.
Smoke and mirrors.
It was all an illusion,
The power was in the unknown.
like Banksy.
Once the mystery is gone,
Will the magic still be there?
it's something to think about.
But for now, I think we just have to appreciate Banksy's art for what it is.
Powerful, thought-provoking, a challenge to how we do things.
A reminder that art can change the world.
Absolutely.
So as we end our deep dive into Banksy, I want to leave you with this.
Okay.
Don't just look at their art, really engage with it.
What does it mean to you?
How does it make you feel?
What does it say about the world?
Let it spark your creativity, challenge what you believe, inspire you to make your own mark.
Because art can change the world one person at a time.
And maybe you'll be the one to crack the Banksy code.
Unravel the enigma.
But even if you don't, the journey is the reward.
Well said.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Banksy.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep your eyes open for that next Banksy masterpiece.
You never know where it'll pop up.